All right. Hello, everybody. It is Wednesday. We are coming to you from Investing Education Academy. Leon and I have a treat for you today. We have Miss Belinda Jackson with us, and she is going to be doing something that I doubt many podcasts have ever done. She's actually going to be creating a visual representation of what we talk about today during this live. So I am definitely excited to introduce Miss Belinda Jackson, and she is let me see, how would I say, would it be visual clarity? I know you say visual clarity coach, and I know that, but I feel like it's so much more because I've seen you take business plans and produce a visual roadmap for how you can achieve your goals. I've seen you take book ideas and lay out the chapters of a book in a visual representation to help authors. So I feel like it's much bigger than visual clarity coaching. It's just visual clarity in general. But please tell us what you do.
Hi, thanks for having me. I founded Picture It Possible in 2017. And what I do is I use visual thinking and capturing ideas with pictures and words to help people get clarity and to also build memory and learn new things. So tonight, I will be capturing the discussion and hopefully summarize and capture themes from the chat tonight so that your listeners and your community can go back and kind of quickly grasp the core concepts that were discussed.
Yeah, and as you all know, we bring you these discussions. Leon and I bring you these discussions every Wednesday, 9 o'clock. Of course, today, like most, you can join us over on the Clubhouse platform after this is over. And for anybody who's wondering what the topic is today, the topic is Coinbase's IPO. And this is a really good one because cryptocurrency is like at the forefront of every conversation out there. And some of you all, this will be the first time you're ever even hearing about Coinbase. Others may be on Coinbase's platform, never knew the company was going public. And then some of you all would just be learning for the first time, like, okay, tell me everything you can. So we're looking forward to providing the information to give you an understanding of what Coinbase is and why the IPO is important to you. And Leon has done extensive research to give you all a sheet, and while he tells you more reasons why we chose this topic, I'm going to do my housekeeping.
Yeah, so this one I'm excited about. So Coinbase. Okay, so background on Coinbase. So Coinbase is the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the United States. They're not the largest in the world. They're actually like 20th in the world. I mean, there are tons of exchanges, crypto exchanges around the world. But in the United States, Coinbase is the largest. And the reason I'm excited about this is because, well, so okay, two things. One, Coinbase and Robinhood are the two most anticipated IPOs this year. Robinhood's they filed to go public. They haven't filed their S1, which is when they release their financial information. They filed to go public, so we should get their S1 in the coming weeks. So out of those two, Coinbase is going out first. They're actually going public next Wednesday, April 14th. So mark your calendar. Next Wednesday, April 14th is when they go public. Yes.
And Leon, just a piece on that. They say Coinbase is the most anticipated IPO in U.S. history next to Facebook. And so this is really good because also too in the U.S., like you talked about it being the biggest, I think Binance is the one globally that's the biggest. But then in the U.S., Binance is still bigger than Coinbase, but Coinbase is number 2 to Binance.
Well, there's two things. There's a Binance US and there's a Binance Global.
Yeah, Binance US.
Yeah, US. Yeah. So there's two. But
that's important. Actually, can you touch on that real quick?
So Binance is the largest crypto exchange on the planet, on Earth, by like a lot. Like they totally lead. I think the second one is like half as big. But so crypto's new, right? And the U.S. government still doesn't. They haven't even. There are quite a few lawsuits going on right now between cryptocurrency companies and the SEC because the SEC doesn't know yet if they're classifying crypto as an asset or a currency. And so because of all these regulations have been cleared up, and there's just a lot of unknowns, the U.S. has told certain exchanges, look, you can't operate in the U.S. because we really don't know what you are. So Binance was operating in the U.S. The U.S. made them shut down. So what they did was they partnered with a U.S. firm, and that U.S. firm is now the new Binance. It's called Binance.us. And now, since the company is now based in the United States and is under United States regulation, Binance.us is the U.S. arm of Binance, which I believe is based in Asia.
Yeah, and the reason why that's important is I know a lot of people might leave here and they'll just remember Binance. They won't remember the .us, and that's important when you're setting up your account to actually have .us, not .anything else.
Yeah, if you just download the Binance app, you won't be able to register because they won't allow you. Binance.us is the one you have to get if you want to use that. Personally, I use Binance.us. I tried to sign up for Coinbase initially, but there was for whatever reason, they wouldn't accept my bank account. So I moved on to Binance.us. Works. It's not the greatest user experience, but it does work. So back to Coinbase now. So yeah, Coinbase is the number one exchange in the United States. But the reason this is really exciting is because this is the first. So we all know, well, for those that don't know and those that know, cryptocurrencies right now are the hottest thing on the planet, right? Like crypto is exploding. There's so much going on underneath the radar right now that a lot of us don't even know about, that we'll be hearing about in the years to come, that Brent and I are a bit of aware of, that are happening. It's really exciting. It's really crazy. Right now, there are public companies that are quasi crypto companies. They kind of deal in the crypto space, but they're not pure play crypto companies. Coinbase is going to be the first pure play. The only way they make money is through cryptocurrencies. They'll be the first pure play crypto publicly traded company in the United States. And as we know, and for those that don't know and for those that do, cryptocurrency moves. Like, it is crazy volatile. Bitcoin, I think right now, average is moving like 7 to 8% per day. I believe Ethereum number 2 is moving a little less than that, between 5 and 6% per day. So what's going to happen? What's most likely going to happen is that once Coinbase goes public, it's going to kind of mirror the movements of Bitcoin and Ethereum. So it's probably going to be a very volatile stock. But it's going to be cool to see, how does the U.S. stock market actually value cryptocurrency? Because right now we really don't know what the market thinks about pure play cryptocurrencies, because the companies that are public, they have like one foot in the crypto game and not really. So some of them follow, some of them don't. So this would be the first pure play crypto company that we can all follow. For people that don't invest directly in crypto, like actually buying Bitcoin, actually buying Ethereum, this would be like almost like the closest pure play way you can get into cryptocurrencies is actually buying Coinbase when it comes out. So it'd be really, really cool to see how the market values Coinbase, and in turn, that's actually how the stock market sees cryptocurrency.
Yeah, and just for full disclaimer, I do use Coinbase. Leon and I aren't endorsing it. This is not an endorsement of Coinbase or Binance. I personally don't like Binance. I think it's antiquated, and the platform sometimes is a bit quirky and it doesn't work right. And there are other players out there. Just, we're going to go into that with the IA crypto bulls, but just know this is not an endorsement. This is just information on the IPO of Coinbase coming up.
Right. So, Brent, you can pull up. Yeah, slide me the chance. Yeah, cool. So, all right. So, Coinbase goes public next Wednesday, right? And like I said, this is the purest play you can have in cryptocurrencies without actually investing in cryptocurrencies. But as we all know, as Brent and I always say, got to do the research. Got to know what you're buying, right? So we're bringing you some of the information that they've released over the last like 2 weeks. So you have a slide on the screen, and we're just listing out some of their. So they filed their S1. What an S1 is just where a company has to report their financials before they go public. Now, Coinbase actually did something that's really never been done before. Is most companies their IPO is on April 14th. There's something called a quiet period, which means that companies can't talk about their IPO leading up to their IPO. Like they can't put out any statements because some things can be seen as misleading or kind of influencing the IPO. Well, they put out what they were allowed to put out, but you can. What the SEC says, you can't come out and talk about your IPO, but you can put out factual data about your company, information about your company. So they did a data dump or an information dump on Monday or Tuesday about their first quarter revenue and earnings. We'll go into that in a minute, but it was really interesting. So we're gonna start at the top. So give a little background on Coinbase. So in 2020, the company had $1.14 billion in revenue, and that's up from $483 million in revenue in 2019. So in 1 year, from 2019 to 2020, they increased their revenue 136% in 1 year. Huge. Now in 2020, their net income was $322 million. So I underlined this and I bolded it. Coinbase is a profitable company. Y'all know how rare this is, right?
Oh yeah,
so
that's huge.
yeah, for a tech company and a tech company in crypto to be profitable, man, I can see this thing going to the roof because all these SPACs that are coming public, and a lot of these companies that are coming public via direct listings, they're all speculative, right? They don't have any earnings to show at all. They do a lot of them do have a lot of revenue, and the revenue is growing at a pretty big clip. But revenue is only get you so far. You need to show profitability. Coinbase has shown that. And not only they're growing their revenue 136% in 1 year, they're also profitable. It's huge.
Yeah, and Leon, real quick,
mm-hmm.
people should know Coinbase came out roughly in about 2012, and that's about 4 years after Bitcoin really hit the scene. So they're not new. In addition to that, Coinbase did something I think is extremely unique. When they came out, they went on the NASDAQ's private listings platform where they actually kind of were traded, but it was traded as a private listing. So nobody publicly knew about it. And I mean, I didn't even know this existed until I did some research on Coinbase. So did you know about that, Lee?
Yeah, I do.
I did not know that was possible. So this was news to me. So, I mean, just for you all who are thinking, oh, this is a new company that's going to IPO and it's profitable, that's great, but it's still new. It is not new. So the reason why that's important is because they already worked out their kinks, or a lot of their kinks. Companies always have kinks. But just understand they definitely have history and they've been there since the beginning.
Right. And so as Brent just said, they're listed on the NASDAQ's private exchange that we actually need to look more into that, Brent.
Yeah, no, I made a note for myself.
Yeah, if we can get into that. But so here's the thing though. So on that exchange, I just looked up their valuation on that exchange, their market cap is $68 billion. $68 billion. Remember, companies like Ford, GM that have been around for hundreds of years trade roughly in the 25 to maybe $40 billion. So the private market is valuing Coinbase at almost $70 billion, double a lot of these, legacy old companies that have been around forever, double that. And I mean, actually, GM right now is basically morphing into an electric vehicle company. Their market cap has actually gone up a bit, but I don't believe it's reached $70 billion yet. So Coinbase on the private market is being valued at a huge multiple, even before their IPO.
They're saying after the IPO, which is also a direct listing, but we'll talk about that. They're saying the valuation can hit 200 billion within like the first 2 weeks, which I think is going to be hype. I'm just putting that out there for the record. I think if it hits 200 billion, it's definitely going to be some retraction in that price, but that's a whole nother thing. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I agree. So they're private listing right now. The private valuation is 68 billion. We'll see what it comes out at, right? We have no idea, but I can almost guaranteed. Just saying, this thing is well. Okay, let me take a step back. Like you said, Brent, this is a direct listing, right? And as we've talked about before, direct listings typically won't have that big pop that that 100% pop we usually see, because they're essentially flooding the market. Anyone that owns stock in Coinbase on the private market can sell their stock. There's no lockup period. All the stock comes to the market. So that typically depresses the price. So we may not see, 100%, 200% jump in Coinbase when it first comes out, but I'm pretty sure we'll see a pop of some sort.
Yeah, and let me self-regulate myself. For anybody who's wondering what a direct listing is, that means that they're not going to the traditional underwriting direction with most IP. Well, a lot of IPOs, I can't even say most anymore. Instead of going to a JP Morgan to say, underwrite this and also promote it, get us the buzz, get us excited, get the market ready for us. They're just saying, we're going to start listing our shares for sale to the secondary marketplace. And what that means, and the reason why direct listing is important, it cuts their costs down, number one, which means more profitability stays with the company. Then two, all of those employees that were tied up with, that were working for stock options and not receiving additional pay, they now can immediately liquidate their shares, which kind of brings a little bit of balance to the marketplace. It's not artificial demand out there without the supply. So the supply becomes, available because employees who own hundreds of thousands of shares can also immediately sell their shares, which means what? They're all becoming millionaires overnight. So they can't wait to sell, and they're not going to. Some are not going to wait for the long play. They're like, what? I need this money now. It's guaranteed. It's been held up this long. When it goes, we're out. And most companies don't do that. The employees have to hold for a lockup period, which is what Leon was talking about, of 6 months or more.
Yep. So, okay. Now point three, and this is a credible point I'm about to make here. So point three, the bullet three is showing, this is the numbers that Coinbase released a few days ago, which again is odd. Well, it's not odd. It's rare that companies release. Yeah, no, not odd. It's rare.
Rare. I agree.
Yeah,
odd.
it's rare. Yeah, it's rare that companies release this type of information so close to their IPO, but they did. And by SEC rules, they're allowed to. So this is crazy. Check this out. So in 2021, this year, first quarter, Coinbase had revenue of $1.8 billion. Right. Before we go any further, go back to the first bullet. In all of 2020, the company had revenue of 1.14 billion. So we're talking about in a year, they've gone from making essentially $1 billion in 1 year to $1 billion in 1 quarter in 3 months. What they did in 3 months took them a whole year to do last year. That shows the incredible, ridiculous growth that Coinbase is going through right now. Why this IPO is going to be crazy. Yeah. But so yeah, 2021, this year, first quarter, they had $1.8 billion in revenue. And that's versus last quarter, the first quarter of last year, 2019, where they had a revenue of 190 million. So a 900% increase in revenue from 2020, 2021. So again, what they made in all of 2020, they made just in the first 3 months of this year. And it's a 900% increase over 2020. So, I mean, this thing is gonna be crazy. Like I just can't wait to see when this comes out. And finally, they have 56 million verified users on the platform. And I believe of that, the monthly active users, people that actually use it monthly, are I think about 21 million. So 56 million registered verified users and 21 million that are active each month.
Yeah, and so for the 56 million verified users, Coinbase has about 2.6 million of those individuals who actively trade on a monthly basis.
Wait, it's 2.6?
Yeah, 2.6 million.
Oh, sorry, I said 21. Yeah, 2.6. Okay.
Yeah. But the thing is, of that, it accounts for the fees from those transactions account for like 96% of their income. And so, looking at the fee structure, the more this grows, and the reason that's important is because there's still a huge population of people who don't even know about Coinbase. Huge. So if they're deriving most of their income from these cryptos being traded, in addition to that, there's cryptos coming out all the time. Like cryptocurrencies are coming out all the time. Not all of them make it to Coinbase to be traded, but they're always coming out, which means they always have the potential of increasing their income. So, I mean, this is really, I'm excited too, because, and then for them to be a direct listing is crazy. It's a lot of companies, like, what's Chamath? Is that the guy?
Chamath Palihapitiya, yeah, the SPAC guy, yeah.
He was like, man, they should have done through a SPAC.
Yeah, of course, because that's what he does. Yeah.
So, guys, this is great because it's also going to allow us to have shares available for just retail investors to pick up. So again, for anybody who's popping in now and you're like, okay, this is cool. I know that's Brent, that's Leon. Who's that person who looks like they're writing? This is Miss Belinda Jackson. She's a visual clarity coach. There you go. That's a part of what she's creating right now. She's actually creating a visual representation of the information we're distributing to you all. And once it's done, we're going to show it to you. It's going to be on our site. We're going to post it back up here, and you'll see it on social media. And also for anybody who has a business or a podcast or anything else, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I would love to have visual representation of what I do. We will have her information along with it. And at the end, we will let her introduce herself again and tell you how you can get in contact with her. So definitely stick around so you can see the visual representation of what we're talking about, because we still have to do what we always talk about, and that's give you 2 stock picks. Leon's going to choose one.
Just one last point. It's kind of what you said. So all of us now are used to not paying commissions on stock trades. Coinbase charges commissions. Pretty much all crypto exchanges charge commissions. Like Brent said, 90% of their revenue comes from commissions. So if you trade crypto, you're paying commissions. If you don't trade crypto and you want to, you're going to have to pay commissions. So just know that when you start trading crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever, you're going to pay a commission on it. I believe it's going in and coming out like how stock used to be. And that's how they made all these billions of dollars, is through commissions primarily.
Yeah. And a lot of you all think that you're not paying commissions, who are those Robinhood traders. You are. It's a very small percentage that Robinhood takes on each transaction of cryptocurrency, but it doesn't read as a traditional like fee, if you will. So a lot of people are like, oh, Robinhood's free. They get paid. Trust me, they're not doing the trades for free. So,
right.
just understand it is how cryptocurrency trades. Now, you might get a Robinhood that comes along in the cryptocurrency marketplace and they will challenge that. And maybe, Robinhood changed the landscape for trading stocks. So you never know what will happen in the cryptocurrency marketplace. But for now, that is it. And there are a lot of other platforms out there besides this. And for anybody who's been, noticing that Leon and I have been talking more and more about cryptocurrency, we're launching a platform. It's called IEA Crypto Bulls. The IEA Crypto Bulls is a platform that we're launching because there's a lot of people who really don't know what cryptocurrency is or how to benefit from it. And I'm gonna give a very quick story. Leon, you know the story that's coming. 2010, Domino's Pizza cryptocurrency. A guy, and I'll give you the summary. A guy wanted 2 Domino's pizzas. He said, I have $41 in cryptocurrency, in Bitcoin, that I will give you if you can deliver 2 Papa John's pizzas to me. Eventually, nobody responded. He said, look, I just want to see if somebody will accept this cryptocurrency in exchange for a pizza. I'm just curious. I have $41 worth of Bitcoin. 2010. As of 2020, that $41 in Bitcoin is now worth $66 million. That's only 10 years. It's only 10 years. So you have to think, in the world of stock market, there's about 5,000 to 7,000, 7,500 investable stocks. When you get into cryptocurrency, it's like 12,000 and growing. And you never know when the next Bitcoin is going to be out there. So, it's really a place where Leon and I have given a lot of attention to. So we're creating the IEA Crypto Bulls. It's going to be a fast-paced platform. And the reason we separated out from Investing in Education Academy's normal IEA members platform is this one is going to be hard-hitting. It's going to be 2 masterminds a month. We're going to go in, what are you buying? Who's buying it? Why are you buying it? What's new? What's old? What should we dump? What should we buy? What should we keep? All these things. What are the platforms? Because there's exchanges, there's wallets, there's cold storage, there's cryptocurrency, then there's tokens, and then you have non-fungible tokens. So there are all these different types of crypto, and nobody really understands the ecosystem. Even Leon and I are still learning it, but we're going to create the IEA platform. It's going to be $200 a month. After we get to the first group, the price is either going to go up $100 per month or it's going to double. The goal is, if you want to get in, you can, but we suggest you don't wait. In the first group, we're going to tap out that first group between 15 and 20 people. We already have about 8 or 9 committed to the first group. So that means pretty soon we will be tapping. We haven't even launched it yet. So that's really great. So if you're interested in the IEA Crypto Bulls, send a direct message to myself, Leon, to Leon or myself, Brent, and then we can go from there. And again, stick around so you can see the end. We only have a couple more minutes left, but we get to see the end of what Miss Belinda Jackson, the visual clarity coach, is going to show us what she gathered from our meeting today. Leon, did you go ahead? And
Rick, on the story of the pizza store, I just looked up. So that $41, oh wait, sorry. You said it was $41 to how much?
$41 in 2010 is now $66 million. Actually, 2020.
Right.
So if it was 66 million in 2020, it probably is 120 million right now. But that's the last time I saw it.
Yeah, it's like I was looking at it's like 16 million percent return. So yeah, just like yeah. I'm just curious what
you would look that up, right?
Yeah, right. I was looking at the percentage. All right, so yes, we owe everyone our picks, and I'll go first. So my pick this week is Jumia or Jumia. I'm not sure how to say it. Ticker symbol is J. You gonna pull it up, Brent? Or
yeah, I'm gonna pull it up.
Okay. Can't see your screen.
Yeah, no, I gotta type it. What is it? I think it's
Jumia. I think it's JMIA, I believe.
Jumia Technologies?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So Jumia, so what they are, Jumia is the Amazon of Africa. It's just a clean way to say it. Everyone kind of gets the concept now. So it's the Amazon of Africa. They specialize in 3 main areas: e-commerce, food delivery, and digital payments. So they have a little bit of DoorDash and a little bit of like PayPal or Square in there too. They're active in 11 countries in Africa. In 2020, they reached 6.8 million people via their website and their app. And that was an increase of 12% over the previous year, where they reached 6.1%, 6.1 million users. The African continent has over 1 billion people, giving the company plenty of room to grow. And so kind of a way to gauge the way people are kind of gauging this is right now Jumia's market cap is about $3 billion. So that makes it a mid cap, small cap to mid cap. So so what people are doing is they're doing a comparison to other companies that are, relatively in the same space. So one of them is Mercado Libre, which everyone says is the Amazon of Latin America. Their market cap is 81 billion. Alibaba, their market cap is 634 billion. And then Amazon, the king of them all, their market cap is 1 trillion. So everyone's saying if Jumia is quote unquote the Amazon of Africa and their market cap is only 3 billion, there is a huge runway for them to grow their market cap and by definition growing their share price. If they're only worth 3 billion today, and Amazon, which is the cream of the crop, is worth 1 trillion. So that's a better way to gauge them versus like sales and profits right now, because they're a small company. Like I said, this is very speculative, right? Very speculative play. It's a young company. They just came public in the last year or so. Another point is that this thing moves. It is volatile. It moves anywhere from 8 to 12% per day. So just know that, you put 1,000 in this, you can be down, 100, 200 bucks in a day, just depending on how it moves. So just, size your trade accordingly if you're going to do this. But again, think about getting in on Amazon back in 1994 through today. Not saying that'll happen, but there's a possibility that it could happen, being that this is the Amazon of Africa, which also has a bit of Square, PayPal in it, also a bit of DoorDash. So that's my pick, Jumia.
Yeah, Leon, I did not know Amazon is now bigger than Alibaba.
Yep, almost double.
Wow.
By market cap. Yeah,
I remember Alibaba was like the big dog. That was news to me.
Yeah, Alibaba is 634 billion and Amazon is 1.56 trillion. Yeah,
and so for anybody who's listening, I think this is a great pick. Also, if you're not familiar with what's happening just on the continent, literally the continent of Africa, many of the trade barriers have been lifted. I think it's across the continent. It's a national movement to stop the differentiating ways that different countries did business and transacted goods. And so I wonder how that's going to affect this, because I think it's only 2 countries in the whole continent that didn't sign the treaty for free trade throughout Africa. So that'll be definitely very interesting.
And just an anecdotal point. A good friend of Brent and I's, who's also an IA member, Dave used to live in Ghana in Africa. And he said he actually used Jumia for food delivery at his house. So that's kind of an anecdotal evidence that somebody that lived on the continent that actually used this company, used the quote unquote Amazon of Africa. So, huge growth potential. Again, the continent has over 1 billion people, and they're just starting out. They're, like I said, it's a relatively young and new company. So, potentially huge growth in front of this one. And the ticker symbol is, what is it, Brent?
Let me see. It's JMIA. Jumia Technologies, JMIA. And also, just because I think it's a really cool thing to say, Leon and I, through IAA, have purchased roughly about 2 acres of land in Ghana that we're going to be developing. So this is really cool to see things like this popping up, because that'll make life easier when we do our build out over there.
Yep, definitely.
All right, let's see. So mine is Riot Blockchain, and the ticker symbol is RIOT. Now, for many of you all, I've been like cryptocurrency crazy, and with this is very speculative as well. So we need to give a lot of warnings today. The stocks we're picking aren't the stocks that you should be using all of your money, or as we say, groceries, things you're going to buy medicine with. This one for me is really like curious money to risk capital. Absolutely risk capital. I would put it kind of into that curious money. Like, I'm just curious what it's going to do. I don't care if I win or lose. But they've been heading in some positive territory, and I know people in like 2 years ago that were purchased this at $2.50 a share, and is now at $48.37 a share. This company still has a very far way to go. Let me pull up the profile on it. All right. So Riot Blockchain, together with its subsidiaries, focus on cryptocurrency mining in North America. The company primarily focuses on Bitcoin mining. As of December, it's operating a fleet of 7,000 plus miners. And so I'm gonna stop there. It goes on, and it's been word they actually are going to start mining for other cryptos. But if you think about what they're saying it's a possibility that Bitcoin can go to 100,000, 500,000. There's some people saying a million. I don't know. They're saying a million over 20 years. But when you think about the mining aspect, it requires a lot of energy. So a lot of people are getting out of the mining game who are smaller players, which is going to leave, that area for those that have a corporate structure and can continue doing it at a corporate level to benefit. And when you start mining other cryptos, which I don't know how that's going to work, and I'm not even going to act like I know. We will learn through IA Crypto Bulls. We're going to learn a lot, but right now we're still figuring out how they're going to mine other currencies, considering it's not hidden, if you will. So, and really, mining, for anybody that doesn't know, is the equivalent to like market makers in the stock market. That's the best way a stock guy can describe it. It might be, Leon, you got a better way to describe it?
I mean, that's one way. Another way is so mining. I mean, mining is, so if you think of a ledger, like all blockchain is just a ledger. So the miners are if you're thinking like a ledger, like you write something down, the miner is just the person who documents whatever transaction happened. So if it's like a ledger for an accounting system, each product bought by the firm, the miner is the person who jots down that purchase in the ledger, in the blockchain. So miners are the one that oversee the network. They're the ones that take care of the network, and they're the ones that enter all of the transactions that go on any particular blockchain.
And they get pieces of all the transactions that occur. That's why people always want to mine. And that's why data mining is such a especially years ago, everybody wanted to become a miner. But with that being said, my choice today is Riot Blockchain. The ticker symbol is RIOT, and it's currently trading at $48 a share. It is volatile, so please don't bet your baby's college fund on it. But we come to that point where we get to see, do we wait? How does that work? Please unmute yourself and tell us what you've been. First, tell us what you've been doing.
And Brent, can you take it off the?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I can. I'm not.
If you can tell us what you've been doing.
Okay, and then I'll share. Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm Belinda Jackson. I am a visual clarity coach, but I'm also an event note artist, and I do live scribing, which is visual note taking. So while Brent and Leon have been talking about Coinbase IPO, I've been taking notes on my iPad. So I can share now with you what it looks like, or I could talk about the business, whatever you want me to do.
Please tell us about the business and then share.
Okay. Picture It Possible is a visual strategy consultancy. And basically what we do is help people find visual clarity. So whether it's your book idea, your business idea, launching a product, or capturing an event or a podcast like this, we can help you use visual thinking to make it happen.
Now, if you can share it quickly, I know it doesn't give the full essence of what it is in that format.
Can you give me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I have sharing power. No, I don't.
All right, hold it. You do now.
I have the power.
You have the power. And so while she's doing that, let me tell you all why that's important for business owners. We actually will use this in marketing material. We would use this to help people understand what this particular podcast was about.
That's my surprise. I did a little caricature as a surprise. I don't always do that, but I thought it would be cool.
I like that. Okay.
All right.
So basically, I just capture, I'm out of my wheelhouse. So the questions that came up were here. Here's the factoids about Coinbase that they released that you talked about. Here's some other information about how Coinbase is positioned. And then I have your stock picks over here in the corner.
Nice.
I like that. It's like note taking, but it's in a more visually pleasing manner.
Yes, and it's good for your brain. So there's some science behind how it can help you remember and connect ideas better.
Yeah, okay. No, and I love the fact she has the stock picks there. So
right.
So people are like, yo, that's dope. that's awesome. When you're thinking about what to do, this will live forever. Like we probably will have it framed or something. But when you look at things like this, it helps people have a different relationship with your brand. And that's what, Leon didn't even know this was going to be done today. So, yeah, so I was like, haha, surprise.
Nice surprise, yeah.
I'm glad you're happy with it.
Okay, so people are asking, how long does it take you to produce the visuals? So the visual you see today, she did during our conversation.
Yes, the only thing I didn't do were the 2 caricatures. I did that right before we got on live, but everything else I did while we were talking.
And so that was roughly about 45 minutes to an hour.
Yes, and it's a field. It's called graphic recording. If you wanted to Google it to learn more.
No, don't Google it. Just go to your website.
Yeah, but I mean, no, some people don't know it's a valid field. So it is like a valid industry, if you will. But yes, the website gives you more information about like what happens when you live scribe, how do you use it in coaching, how authors have used it. And there's some videos of people talking about working with me, and you can actually see me doing some vision mapping with a client on there too.
And what's the website again?
It's pictureitpossible.co.
Okay. So everybody, we will put this into the notes when we go back and kind of respond to the people. Everybody's like, that was amazing. That was so cool. Belinda, I need to connect with you and your company. I work on grants, proposals, and decks. Drop the website. So
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
And we will absolutely have you back because I think this is really cool. And it can create, definitely. I mean, if we had like a picture book or a storybook of like a story, like a collection of visual representation of some of the things we talked about.
Yes. And that's something we provide to for event hosts. If you have a series or if you have an event that's multiple days, we do like a visual summary lookbook that has the images in there. And sometimes they, offer it as a offering for products, post meetings, post conferences, or just to like catalog and curate all of the teaching that's going on. Yep.
No, super dope. Everybody, thank you. The comments, we will get back to you all with her information. And I think this was the first for a podcast. So for any podcast,
all right, groundbreaking.
That's what we do. That's what we do. So thank you so much, Belinda. Anybody who wants to join us in Clubhouse will be there right about 10 o'clock-ish. And yeah, we'll see you over there. Look for Brent Simpson or Leon Noble. Thank you, everybody, for being with us. Bye.